You wanna... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the June Jordan School for Equity 2013 graduation. This is a great class, trust me. So before we get started with the full program, I have a special thank you. Wait, we have one more graduate? Yes? Hold on, time out. So then we're going to be with them, but some families are not going to be part of the June Jordan community anymore. And one in particular, I have to say a special thank you to, because we have a parent whose daughter's graduating today who has been the chair of our school site council for the past 2 years, Milan Fisher. And not only she probably welcomed you today, but many of you do not know that she has played a key role on the school site council in being holding us accountable and giving us incredible support over the past 2 years in a really critical time in the school's history. And we really would not be where we are today without her. And so, because she's graduating today too, I want to say thank you. We can't ever thank you properly, but I want to give you some flowers. So come on up, Milan. Milan is phenomenal, and she really represents all of you as parents and grandparents and aunties and uncles and cousins and others who have done all that you've done to support these wonderful graduates. And it has not been easy. It has not been easy, class of 2013, because you guys live in challenging times. And I want to give a few depressing statistics, not to depress you, but I'll tell you why in a minute. But consider this. Over your lifetime, since you've been born, you know they talk about the 1%? Well, that 1%, when you were born, they owned 15% of the national income, which is a lot, right? But today, it's increased to 25%. So the 1% has gone up over your lifetime, while the rest of us have stayed even or gone down. Just consider here in San Francisco, in the time from 2004 to 2008, in the years when you guys were mostly in middle school, there were an average of 94 homicides a year in the city of San Francisco. And many of us in this room knew people who were the victims of those homicides, and most of them were Latino and African American, people of color, working class folks, right? And that's the environment that you guys have had to grow up in and the environment you've had to go to school in. Consider more broadly for the whole country. There are 2.3 million Americans behind bars today. That's 1 in 100 adults in this country is in prison. And by the way, the state of California spends $50,000 a year to incarcerate someone. How much do they spend on your education? About $6,000 per year. But yet, despite all that, this class, these students up on this stage have persisted, they have persevered, they have not let that stop them, and they are up here today. They have not given up. They continue to have one of the highest rates of four-year college eligibility in the school district. That's right. And they will not give up. And that's my challenge to you, class of 2013, is all those problems I just talked about. Again, it's not to be depressing on this graduation day, it's to say that's the world you're going into. But what makes me hopeful is that you all can change it. You all can change it. I'm not going to change it. We're not going to change it. We have our lives. We're living our lives. But you all have the world in front of you. And you have the opportunity, if you take forward your respect, integrity, courage, humility, your self-determination, the things that got you on this stage today, and you continue on with those, you will change the world. And those statistics I just said, in 20 years and 30 years, they will no longer be the reality here in San Francisco and in this country, thanks to you. And so I am hopeful for the future because of you, class of 2013. So thank you for that. And now, It is my great honor and privilege to introduce my fellow co-director, Jessica Wong, who this is her first year as co-director, although she's been at the school for a while. And then she left and she came back. And she is simply phenomenal. It's been really, like I said, an honor and a pleasure to work alongside her. She's a natural leader. She's an incredibly hard worker. And she has really helped move this school forward. So it's, again, my honor to introduce Jessica Wong, co-director.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's great to see all of you here, family, friends, loved ones, and colleagues. I'm Jessica Wong, and I'm proud to serve as co-director of June Jordan School for Equity. Before I begin, I'd like to take a quiet moment to appreciate all of the hard work, dedication, and love that has been the culmination of this year's work for our staff, our students, and the many loved ones who have supported our graduates this year. As we have practiced mindfulness with our school community this year, I'd like to have everyone in the auditorium. You can close your eyes, or you can just stare at something in front of you. But graduates, this will be your last time sitting up straight and putting your feet flat on the floor. Take a deep breath and try to give thanks. Appreciate a moment in this past year. Think of a challenge that you have had, or many of the challenges that you have had, a hurdle you felt you would never make it through, maybe a disagreement with a loved one that you felt was too big a deal to get over, an assignment that was impossible to complete, but then you did it. And for you out there, maybe a child that you felt never listened. Think of the growth that has happened over all of the years, the personal strength that has gotten where you are today, the late nights of hard work that have finally paid off. Take a moment to appreciate. Thank you, and as you open your eyes and bring your attention back to the auditorium, remember, graduates, that the time you take to stay mindful every day is something that will stay with you. You don't need us, you don't need me to give you strength. It is within you, and is something that you can take wherever you go. Now, before I go any further, and because I know the graduates will be given their chance to appreciate their loved ones, and their boos, and their cousins, and their uncles, and their aunts, and their siblings, I'd like to take a quick moment to appreciate my own mother and my daughter, who inspire me every day. They're sitting there. Say hello. Hi, Jada. Hi, Madeline. Thank you for being the foundation that grounds me. I love you. Now, speaking of love, allow me to address the class of 2013. So, class of 2013, in many ways you remind me of a team that you might have heard of, the world champion San Francisco Giants baseball team.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you still owe me 2 days of school when you all ditch classes to go to the parade and for senior ditch day. We will be holding your grades and your transcripts until you again make up your tardies and absences. Just kidding. Kind of. Not really. But anyway, if you have ever watched the Giants, they never make winning easy, do they? They always have to come from behind, they rely on heroics in the last minute, but sometimes when they lose, it's frustrating. But they come through when it really matters. And that's the way the class of 2013 has been at June Jordan. You nearly gave your teachers heart attacks for waiting till the last minute to turn in papers. You missed deadlines, and you complained. You had to retake tests and retake them some more. Many teachers say that everyone starts with an A, and you just have to keep that A. No. You guys wanted to do it the hard way. Many of you started with Fs in the second week of school. How do you start with an F? And had to work extra hard to get your grades up. You know who you are. But you did come from behind, and you did pull through when it mattered, and the most important thing is you never gave up. That's the story of champions. You all have overcome many obstacles to get to where you are today. Hearing the statistics Mr. Alexander talked about, many would say it's a miracle that you're sitting in front of us today, not only graduating, but all going to college or to an awesome job. Many of you may be thinking that where you're going, it's going to be a scary place. I'm here to tell you that you're right. You may be the only one that looks like you sitting in your college class. You may be the only one who went to a public school. I traveled across the country to go to a college I knew absolutely no one. And I was frequently the only one in public school sitting in my classes, or who had the same background as me. But I knew I worked hard to get there, and I knew I deserved to be there. But it took me a really long time to figure that out. I'm here to tell you today that you deserve to be sitting in that seat. Do you know why? Because you have something called capital. Now, yesterday night, I went to a Mason Scholarship Award ceremony, one of the many scholarship award ceremonies that is my privilege to attend for the graduates. And one of the speakers mentioned something called capital. Some people may believe that capital is maybe assets or money or property. But we at June Jordan know that being rich is much more than what you own. It's inside of you. So let me explain. Graduates, raise your hand if you have had to take care of your siblings before or after school. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you had to translate for a family member. Raise your hand if you have had to work to help support your family. Raise your hand if you have experienced injustice or unequal treatment and had to speak out against it. Now, raise your hand if someone knocked on your door at night and told you your family was in danger, that you would fight to the end to defend your family. That you would fight to the end to defend your family. That, my darling graduates, is capital. Your capital is your experience, your love, and your pain. Your capital is your familial bonds, your dedication to your community, and to your own success. It's not just the journey of survival. Survival is doing the bare minimum just to survive and to get by. That's not you all. You all are following the success journey. The success journey is opposite of the survival journey. Success is working hard in the face of obstacles. When you enter a classroom in college and there are many seats, where are you going to sit? Think about that. What'd you say? In the front. That's right. The person who was there for survival, they sit in the back. The person who was there for success sits in the front. The difference for you, my friends, is where do you sit if there are hundreds of seats? Sit in the front because that seat is yours. You've earned it. You deserve to be there. So take what is rightly yours. Be proud of who you are and know that you have just as much capital as anyone else there. Because everyone here at home, we have your back. I have your back, your teachers have your back, your family has your back. We all have your back. Now it's your job to fulfill your dreams that you have voiced to us. Once you have voiced your dreams, it is your duty to your family, to your school, and to yourself to realize them. Even when my own daughter, Jada, who's 6, she had just watched the Kung Fu Panda movie, and she came and told me, I want to be a Kung Fu master. But the minute she stepped foot in that dojo, she came home and she said, it's too hard. It sucks, I don't want to do it. Well, she's still doing it, because if you want to be a Kung Fu master, you have to practice. And it might not be fun. But know that we all have your backs. And she might not be a Kung Fu master when she grows up, but I want her to know what success feels like before she quits, because it's too hard. And that's what I want for all of you. Part of the joy of the journey of success is the feeling of accomplishment and personal growth that comes from accomplishing something that is hard, which you all have the privilege of feeling today. No other school in the district requires you to stand up in front of a group of people and defend your hard work and present a grad plan to graduate. But you all did it, even though it was hard. You all took a college class before you got to college. And you all did it, even though it was hard. Now I have my own set of statistics for you. This class earned a total of almost $400,000 in scholarships and grants. Free money for college, and applied and was accepted to a total of 86 four-year colleges, more than twice the amount of graduates that we have. 93% of our graduates are A through G eligible, meaning they qualify to apply to a university. So here at June Jordan, we turn the predictive power of demographics on its head, we make our own statistics, and we create our own history and legacy. Congratulations, class of 2013. Now with that, and before our keynote, I'd like to invite two student speakers up to the podium. The first is Jaleesa Moss.
I'm glad to see all your beautiful faces on this joyous occasion. 4 years ago, this moment seemed so far off into the distance, but looking back, I now realize that time slipped through my fingertips. I can remember 9th grade like it was yesterday, as I stepped in through those doors as a student and not just Ashley's little sister. After being on campus for a day, I knew that this is where I was supposed to be, and after a year, it felt like home. That year, my class of about 64 shrunk to almost 50. Although we were sad to see them go, we knew we had to keep pushing forward. Sophomore year was full of laughter, disappointment, and stress. As we prepared to move to SI, I saw more people fall under the radar and slip away. My class of 50 then turned into a class of about 40. In junior year, we moved to the other side of the hall with new teachers and advisors. That year, we gained 3. After my first day of SI classes, I knew it was going to be a challenge, and after a terrifying year of academics, I couldn't wait for this day. I can still remember my friends and I scrambling to finish and turn in our English and history papers that were due on the same day. That week, we were all sleep deprived and irritable. Looking back now, I see that as merely preparation for our next step. When we came back in the fall as seniors, we were faced with an even bigger challenge, senioritis. From that experience, I learned 3 things. The internet is not your friend. Procrastinating will make you cry. And finally, that you really should be panicking. This year was full of tears, stress, and anger, but we made it through. And now as we sit here on the stage looking down at your faces, we knew we are ready to go to college this fall and be the special little snowflakes we were born to be. We're going to sit in those chairs facing discrimination and feeling judged by people who don't believe we deserve them, but we will fight through it all because we made it this far. We're the 34 who didn't give up. We're the ones we've been waiting for. Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce my best friend, my twin, Jessie Bains.
Hello, families, friends, and class of 2013. Well, it seems like we're coming to an end. After 4 long years at June Jordan, we can finally say that we've made it. I remember 9th grade like it was yesterday. Not really, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Coming in freshman year, we really didn't know what to expect. We knew that it was time for school again, and here goes another 4 years of it. This time around, we still have no idea what to expect, and for most of us, it's going to be a scary thing to go from a school of 250 students to a huge university. But if I know anything about my class, I know that we're all strong enough to make it. If you take a look at our backgrounds, our neighborhoods, and some of the things that we have to go through every day just to make it here, I can tell you that there were probably a handful of people counting on us to fail. But guess what? We're here today to prove them wrong. Although this may not be the end of our journey, I can tell you that this is the perfect place to start. Sorry. I know it hasn't always been easy, and throughout the year, we've had our ups and downs. There's been times where we wanted to break down because everything was so stressful, or we got angry because we were genuinely tired. But never once did I see any of you people, any of you guys, say, I give up, or I quit. And our continuous struggle and persistence is what kept us going. It's what's going to be the thing that keeps us being the strong leaders we are today. In our class, we have future businessmen and women, activists, journalists, chefs, policemen, and maybe even a few singers and basketball players. And I'm sorry because my cap is falling. Most of all, most importantly, we have a future. And if I can leave my class with anything, I would say to embrace the struggles that you have, take life by the wheel, and steer it to your perfect destination. Because in the end, it won't be about the destination, but how you got there. Yeah. Thank you.
Let's give Jessica and Jaleesa another round of applause. Now, without further delay, I'd like to introduce the 2013 graduation keynote speaker. He is a current, but soon-to-be former June Jordan staff member who teaches Senior Institute Humanities. But in the past, he has taught science, English, art, and economics. He holds many degrees and is a very talented performer, actor, and musician. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Olive Mitra.
Yeah! That's the master snowflake. Yeah.
Many comedians. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Y'all happy to be here, basking in the glory of these delightful human beings? Let me separate my note cards. So first off, I like to say, I just wanted to say a great thank you to all of you for being here today to celebrate the achievements of all of these beautiful young people as they go on to whatever comes next for them. To thank you for supporting the teachers that work here, supporting the staff that makes this place a very unique and invigorating place, not just to work, but to engage in the struggles of all people. And really to support one of the more genuine experiments in social justice and education, trying to bring an honest education to our young people. And just a round of applause for all of you for being here, supporting it all year long. I want to also really quickly take a moment to thank a certain group of people who sometimes get overlooked during these ceremonies, and that would be the teachers of the Junior Institute. those fantastic adults. Yes, let's give them a round of applause. Let's do it now. These are the teachers who take the 9th graders, their shy little quivering selves, walking through the doors, intimidated by the tall lockers and towering seniors, and mold and shape them over a long 2 years to prepare for Senior Institute, where we then cut them down completely into sobbing, crying masses and eventually get them ready to go to college. But JI teachers, you do so much and work so hard, and on a constant basis, you are putting out fires, you are changing metaphorical diapers, and you are essentially laying the groundwork for all of our young people to let go of all the things that society has taught them and get ready to embrace all the information that June Jordan is trying to give and impart. So again, another round of applause, because we can't really clap enough for these folks. I also want to take a moment to thank all the community members from multiple organizations, from HOMI or Coleman Advocates. Looks like we have some contingents in the house. To innumerable groups such as 7TPs who also support from middle school onward. Many of our seniors have gotten to be here because after school they make sure they go and check in with a case manager over at one of these places, or just a mentor, or pop in and end up doing work, maybe at the Boys and Girls Club, maybe at some other organizations where they get to test out all of these concepts of leadership and all these things that we keep telling them about at school, but they get to practice them in an environment that isn't just controlled by the teachers and regulated and kind of encouraged. They get to try it on their own and see how they fit as leaders. So these organizations are fantastic, and thank you to all community members who are here today for all of your support of these young people and all June Jordan young people. You bring an incredible amount to this equation, so a round of applause for them as well. Now don't worry, we'll clap for you at some point. There's one final group. I wanted this to be a little more interactive. So there's one final group, and there's a lot of this group sitting out there in the audience today. This group makes everything possible. This group provides the support, the nurturing, the food, the wake-up calls, the driving back and forth, the hey, can I get a ride home at school? Come on. They deal with the whining, the crying, the sometimes disguised truths about whether or not the paper was turned in on time, or my teacher lost it, he's hella disorganized. You do so much on a regular basis, and unfortunately, and too often, the only times that we get to interact are the few times when you come in for a conference, or the rare occasions when we have to call to say, little Kavina, or whoever, really, is having a bit of an issue. I honestly wish in my career that I would have taken more opportunities to call just when one of our little snowflakes was having a good day. And hopefully, well, I think it might be a little awkward if I'm not teaching and I just call some of my ex-advisees' parents, hey, by the way, you have a really great kid. But I might just do that anyway. I want to take a really honest moment here and thank the families of all of these wonderful students, because honestly, without you, these young people would not be here, they would not have the perseverance to get here. So thank you so much for everything that you have done. And no lunch packed is unimportant. Just putting it out there. So I think now I'd like to just take a moment to think about why we're here today. What are we really here to celebrate? We have, well, physically we understand that there are a bunch of human individuals sitting in chairs, now personalized June Jordan chairs, which is quite fancy. But what are we really celebrating? Are we celebrating their abilities to turn in homework assignments, to get papers done, to answer rhetorical questions which are part of someone else's speech? Are we here to celebrate the minutia of what they've pulled together? The last minute struggling pots of coffee that you put on at 10 p.m. and write a paper for Mr. Kazmai or myself, or do your quiz corrections for Miss Brew? I don't think that's what we're here to celebrate. Even though I'm really glad that many of them pulled it off. I think rather what we're here to celebrate is not so much their ability to pull off these tiny moments, but their dedication and their decision to try. So what we have here, are there 34 of you? Did you count? We have over 30 lovely young people who have put up with so much oppression from their teachers. Do your homework, fix this sentence, that's not a real word. And yet, look at their smiling faces. It's as if none of that ever happened. Well, we're never gonna see that on the outside. But I ask you, and here at June Jordan, this is one of the most interesting content area schools I've ever been to. I've had the supreme pleasure to be an educator here for the last 8 years. And as Ms. Wong has mentioned, I started here in the science department, really interested to see how we could take science into a social justice methodology. And I was lucky enough to get to teach young people literature and economics. And literature was the thing that I was passionate about when I went to school. But honestly, we have students who understand the root causes of oppression. They understand the root causes of problems in their neighborhoods and communities. They understand the problems with our incredibly corporate finance society. But what are they going to do with this? What can they do with this right now? One of these young people asked me yesterday, while I was sitting on the steps with a paintbrush in my hand, and she was rather upset. She walked up and said, "You know what, I think you failed us in one particular way." I was very curious to find out what she meant. So I said, "Well, what are you talking about exactly?" "You taught us about all the ways in which oppression works. You taught us all these things that are wrong with the world. You taught us all these things that are problematic in the world. But you didn't tell us how to fix it." Interesting conundrum. Well, that's because, little snowflakes, there are no easy answers. There is no one way to fix any of this. In fact, so many of the faculty members that are here at June Jordan came to June Jordan because this was the method that we decided to engage in order to fix, or at least create a world that we wanted to see. And you are that world that we want to see. We want to see young people who look like you going out into that world and spreading messages of awareness, of consciousness, of thinking, human, feeling individuals. We want you to go out there and encourage other people to open their eyes and to think, to greet them every morning, to thank them, to be polite, to, in general, be awesome. But is this easy? Little snowflakes, is it easy to be awesome? Some people feel like it's a little easier than others. Is it intimidating to embrace your own awesomeness sometimes? Okay, now they're confused. This is fairly typical. Is it always easy to do what is best? I think I just asked the right question. You know, I had all these note cards, but a lot of these things have been said, so I'm going to wing the rest of this. I often say in my classes that the easiest road is generally the one that's not worth it. Because it doesn't involve hard work, it doesn't involve perseverance, and it does not involve moving beyond what it is that you're capable of doing. All of us have had goals and dreams, some that we have realized, some that we are on our way to realizing, some that we know we will just take our lives to make a reality, some that we will realize through our families, through our children, through our additional family members, or through friends and communities. But all of this takes hard work. And this hard work is something that's been mentioned already, the idea of perseverance, and I really want to reiterate this. You're about to embark on a journey that you have no roadmap for. And that's okay. You're going to find out what your life is going to be based on the decisions that you choose to make. But always remember that the decision to do the best that you can is yours to make in every single moment. And I'll share with you one personal moment of mine. So as an advisor at June Jordan, we often will buy snacks or food items or things for our students. And as a teacher at June Jordan, I've been very clear about certain rules in my classroom, as in no high fructose corn syrup, because I think it is the devil. Thank you. There's some sugar enthusiasts out there. Good. Now, so when I go to the grocery store to buy snacks for my advisory, I'm often faced with a problem. Do I buy the snacks that my advisees want, which essentially just are high fructose corn syrup products in various shapes and sizes, some liquid, some Cheeto, or do I buy expensive, organic, natural products, which I would want them to eat? Well, then there's the issue of, well, how much money do I have? Versus, how much do I really want them to care about this? And will they care about it? Odds are they won't. If I put a Capri Sun in front of some of my students, they'll be very, very excited and they'll love me forever. If I put some organic juice in front of my students, they may not care. But that's the moment where I have to make that choice. And I'm willing to make the choice that you won't care. I'm willing to put a plate of fresh steaming kale in front of my young people and say, have at it, instead of a bowl of Frosted Flakes and Nestle's quick strawberry milk. I know what you would prefer. But that's the thing, those choices, I get to make those choices every time I'm in the grocery store. You're gonna have to make those choices every time you encounter oppression, adversity, every time you see one of your peers or one of your friends being mistreated, every time you see it happening to yourself. You're gonna have to make those choices of, am I going to stand up? Am I going to enact the transformative change that I learned about in theory? And what I ask you, young people, is I ask you to do it. I ask you to get up and do the things that you know are right, even though you know that it might have a really intense fallout, some kind of crazy consequences, but you know that doing the right thing will always make you continue to be able to stand proud with your head held high and support all people in all that you do, and follow along with the creeds and theories that you've learned here, but living is where you get to apply yourself, to work hard, to make your families proud, to make yourselves proud, and to know that that heart that you have beating inside will never betray you, as long as you never betray it. I want to take this quick moment to just say, congratulations, seniors, class of 2013. I do have one quote that I would like to share. It's not a June Jordan quote. I figured other people would handle that. And as we are both embarking on a pretty intense and unknown journey. The quote is this: "The familiar life horizon has been outgrown. The old concepts, ideals, and emotional patterns no longer fit. The time for the passing of a threshold is at hand." Joseph Campbell. And with that, I also offer you a few pieces of just basic advice. You ready? Embrace what you are afraid of and take strength from that fear. Sit with friends around a campfire and sing songs, badly, but loudly. Laugh as often as you can. Don't stew in anger, but use that as a motivation to make change for the better. Live without power or running water for as long as you can. Go on a juice fast. Dance as often as possible. Swim in a lake or a river at least once. And the last thing, be excellent to each other. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2013, let's give a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mitchell. All right, that is the last piece of advice you will ever get from us. That is the last rhetorical question we will ever ask you. And so now is the moment you've been waiting for, the presentation of the diplomas. Mr. Albert, come on up. For those of you who do not know, we do this by advisory here at June Jordan. So the advisor will say a few words and present the roses, and then the students will proceed across where Ms. Huang and I will confer the diplomas. So Mr. Albert.
It's great to be first. Wife of mine, Ms. Davenport, she could not be here today, so Ms. Davenport in my class.
Who's that?
Xavier. Emily Santos. Zainab Nisha.
Thank you.
Giancarlo Martinez. Thank you. Eric Orozco.
First of all, I want to thank God for letting me be in this wonderful moment. Second of all, I want to thank my family for always supporting me. And third of all, third and not least, I'd like to thank all the JJSC staff for never giving up on education and teaching us all they can.
And Christopher Paniagua. Mr. Botha.
Let's time for the
Would my advisory please stand?
You! Yeah!
Before we award them the diplomas, I'd like to take a couple minutes to say a few quick words to my advisory. It's been almost 2 years since we started this journey towards your graduation. Back in 2011, there were 16 of us that started. However, some of your peers took other paths, and I believe the numbers today show that for many of you, it wasn't easy to make your way up here, but you did manage to get here, and I'm very proud of you for that. I also want to say that, being my last year at June Jordan, many of you didn't make it the easiest. Thanks to some of your procrastination, and even more procrastination. I had to run around to many of the teachers trying to find out what work was turned in or hadn't been turned in, which often meant many conversations with Mr. Kazmai. Others of you also love to tell me that, Mr. Botha, don't worry, everything is fine. It took a while, but I realized that that meant everything is actually not fine. I can only imagine what you tell your parents at home. We've had a lot of fun times together, starting out kayaking during our first advisory retreats, spending many hours doing college applications, navigating financial aid, and preparing for your grad presentations. Now that you're ready to leave high school, some of you come closer to accomplishing your dreams more than others. But from this day forward, please remember to keep asking yourself, what are your dreams? And then make and follow a plan to make sure you accomplish them. Perhaps for the first time in your life, you will mainly be responsible for the direction your life takes after today, and you'll be making your own decisions. I'd also like to thank all of you for making my last 2 years at June Jordan the most rewarding. And by most rewarding, I mean the most difficult, but the most enjoyable. I really will miss each and every one of you. And I really wish that your dreams come true and that you keep me updated on what's going on in your lives. With that, I'd like to ask each student to please come up and receive their diploma. We're going to start with Bhavjeet Bains.
How's everyone doing? First of all, I'd like to thank God for blessing me with a great family. I'd like to thank my dad, my mom, my sister, my cousins, my grandmas, my aunts and uncles, from being there with me since the beginning through all my ups and downs. I'd like to thank June Jordan, the teachers and staff, especially Mr. Soro and Mr. Botha, my advisors. And I'd like to thank my friends and peers for being, supporting each other. And once you guys know, I broke my collarbone. I told everyone that I went skydiving. The truth is that I actually rode my bike in a skate park, and that's how I broke that. And I'd like to thank the sidewalk for keeping me off the streets. Thank you.
Next, we have Amy Eccles Chase.
I would just like to thank, firstly, my parents and my grandparents for supporting me, my wonderful teachers here, my awesome advisor, a few mentors, my mentor, Mr. Francis, for teaching me to think critically, and Mr. Mentor for teaching me to live critically. I would also just like to thank my friends here at June Jordan and at Idaho Falls High School and at East High for helping me survive high school.
Next we have Antonio Gonzalez.
I want to say thank you to my family for all the support that they've done, but most importantly, I want to say thank you to the whole class, because at least once I've gone to every single one of them and told them something about my life. And I want to say that sometimes you need to stand alone, but even when you stand alone, know that you're doing what you need to do or what you believe is right, and that's the most important thing to do. Thank you.
And now we have Valerie Desiree Guevara.
I wanted to thank my mom, my dad, my stepmom, my sister, and my cousin for being here. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support and your guidance and your love for all these years. I wanted to thank my friends in the audience and in the class too for being such an amazing group of people and for being so amazing and putting up with my craziness all these years. And to Mr. Botha for being such a great advisor, and Miss Lancaster for taking me backpacking. That was crazy. And to Mr. Mitra especially for always telling me to believe in myself and pushing me a lot harder than I would think I would ever do. Thank you.
I'd like to present Trayvon Terrell Hicks.
I'd just like to say thank you to all my family, my friends, the staff at June Jordan who always push me to do better. And I want to appreciate three of my friends, Jaleesa, Jessica, and Valerie, because all three of you have been with me since 9th grade, and y'all always push me to do better even when I thought I couldn't do anything. So I just want to say thank you to y'all.
And now we have Maribel Mercedes Lopez.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to give thanks to my family, my sister Jenny, wouldn't be able to be here without you, Mr. Botha, Miss Brew, she didn't give up on me, my sister Christy, my pops. Oh, Roger, I love you. Let's see who else. Oh, Marlon, yeah. Okay, thank you, all the teachers too, Mr. Mitra, Mrs. Soro, okay.
And now my last advisee, Senor Cruz Zavala.
Hello. In this special time for me, I want to take the moment to thank my dad and my mother for always being there for me and giving me the support these all 4 years I needed. And also, Mr. Botha for always being there and keeping up with me.
All right, advisor, you may be seated.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is an emergency keynote announcement. There is a gold Oldsmobile that is blocking the entrance gate to the garden. There's a camera crew that cannot get out. They're stuck in the garden. Whoever has a gold Oldsmobile, please help release these poor folks from our garden.
Now I'd like to invite the fabulous, the incredible, the one and only Miss Brew.
Okay, so first I'd like to speak to the audience. Thank you all so much for coming to celebrate this occasion today. I don't have children of my own, but I have definitely felt like a part-time parent for these last 2 years of my advisory. I've experienced the joy of your kids' successes, and I have also experienced the frustration of your kids whining and their procrastination and their laziness and their excuses. Bless you all for dealing with them too. Though this group of kids has certainly given me some gray hairs, the truth is that they are absolutely brilliant. My advisors all have promising futures, but the most important thing about this group is that they each have a curious mind and an open heart. One of our community values at JJIC is humility, but I have trouble feeling humble around these people. Thank you, friends and family, for letting me share in some of your pride. Now I'd like to speak to my babies. To Romari and Marquise and Jocelyn and Hebe and Wilbur and Riley and Ashley and Kevin. Success is not the shoes you wear, the money in your bank, or the car you drive. Success is helping shape a more just world while forming community. Success is finding peace and happiness for you and your family. Success is finding love in the struggle. I have no doubt that you will all be successful, but I need to tell you something. The world does not owe you anything. Every class you take, every job you have, and every relationship you're in will take work. As I look at you all now, I know that you're ready to take on these challenges. I'm so honored to have walked with you on your path for a short time, and I look really forward to the future, to seeing where your path leads. I love you all so much, and we're gonna do the diploma. First up, we have Romari Mitchell-Collins.
First off, I want to thank my family, my friends, and the teachers here, and all y'all for coming in today. I also want to thank God and everybody for supporting me throughout all my struggles. I also want to give a shout out to my friends back there, Wilbur, Nito, Antonio, Bains, everybody back there. All my friends, I love them. And having a, my best friend, Yuri, even though he's gonna be here, I still love you. I love everybody. Thank you.
Next we have Marquise Julius Johnson Hall.
want to thank friends, family members, and also my mentors from German Ventures. And then special thanks to Ms. for helping me out for these first 2 years. Thank you.
Next we have Jocelyn Judith Ochoa Sandoval.
First of all, oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna say it both in Spanish and English. I want to thank my parents first of all, and my stepmom for always being there for me. Quisiera agradecer a mis padres.
In the beginning?
A mi mamá, a mi papá y también a la esposa y papá por siempre estar ahí conmigo, por apoyarme en todo. And I also want to thank Miss Brooke, because she's like a second mom for me. She's always been there for me since freshman year, helping me through everything, putting up with me, with my excuses and procrastination and everything. Quisiera agradecer a Miss Brooke por siempre estar conmigo desde el 9º grado y por siempre aguantarme con todas mis excusas y por ser berrinchuda con ella. Thank you.
Next we have Hebe Lai Shen Peng.
First, I have to thank you. My family is coming, and I have a long list of people. First, I have to thank my first advisor, Ms. Delgado, to help me to adapt the June Jordan environment, and Mr. Mitchell, always helping me doing extra research to help me to understand the material in class. Ms. Clement to help me to fix my message transcript. Mr. Kasmite helped me to do my paper, even he always has the serious face, but I love you, smile. Miss Potter's not here, I think, but thank you her to help me with my math, and also the special thanks to Miss Brew, always here with us like a mom, and we love you.
Next up, we have Wilbur.
Now, I'd just like to thank everyone that's here. I really appreciate it. And I'd just like to start with this. Graduating from high school is a bittersweet feeling. I wish I could still be young and not worry about responsibilities. But then again, there's better things I can amount to in life. These last 4 years have definitely been crazy and unforgiving. I will treasure them forever. Just this past year, family has been a big concern for me. and I managed to value it a lot. And although my family isn't here to enjoy this day with me, I'd like to thank every senior here being with me right now, because to me, like, they're like a family to me. And every single one of them has affected my life some way or another. And I'd like to just thank everybody here graduating with me. You know, our journey together has been like a roller coaster, but at the end of the day, we all care about one another. Antonio, Romari, and Juan, they're like brothers to me. You know, they're like the crew no matter what. I know there's like a million people I'd like to thank right now. You know, in order for me to be here, standing in front of you guys, I'd like to start off with like my first advisor here in Junior Jordan, which was Mr. Arroyo. And although he may not be here, I appreciate it a lot.
Sorry, girl.
But right now, I'd like to appreciate my HESA advisor, Ms. Brew. You know, she's like a mother to me. I don't know where to begin. I know that our relation has been real, our highs and lows. But I'm thankful for everything you've done for me. I know I was acting like a childish kid with you. But I'm having someone like you, a mother figure. I'm going to reminisce my life in the future. And when I think of JJSC, I'll think about you. Thank you for everything. And once again, thank you, everybody.
I'm not gonna play anymore. Yeah, I think you should because, you know, because you have to ask their permission.
Now I'd like to bring up Mele Titapu Eliana Savea.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank God for all He has done for me these last couple of years. It wasn't easy. It was very hard because I was like one of the biggest procrastinators, and I just want to thank God for blessing my wonderful teachers, Ms. Brew, Mr. Sorrow. I want to thank you for putting over my sarcasm all the time, and I just want to, you know, and Mr. Kavanaugh, I want to thank you for, you know, it's been great. I want to thank my mom and dad, you know, as I walk across the stage, I want to show my appreciation to you guys for this graduation. I want to thank a couple of people, they're my friends that made these years a hell of a senior year. Moo, Maribel, Wilbur, Romari, Mito, Kenneth, Isamar, Vienna, and you know, anyone else I forgot, but I just want to thank you guys. You guys were like the best.
Ashley Christine
You want to play dinner? Yeah. Let's not play for anyone because I don't want to play. I'll play a lot after. I'll play like 10 after.
The best choice I've ever made in my entire life so far was choosing to transfer to New Jordan 2 years ago. My classmates and my teachers. My classmates and my teachers have taught me what it really means to be a part of a community. So thank you to my classmates and my friends for always being there for me. I know I had like a few breakdowns last semester. I was laughing, I was crying, and no one was going on. So just thank you for always having my back. Thank you to my family for putting up with me. I know I ask for money like all the time. Can I have $10? Can I have $20? Yeah, thank you. But family doesn't end with blood, and so I've made an even bigger extended family here at June Jordan. And I just want to thank the teachers, Ms. Brew, Mr. Botha, Ms. Lancaster, Ms. Proctor, Mr. Mitra, for always being on me, especially Ms. Brew. I was always late. She kind of helped me a little bit get to school on time. But just thank you for teaching me that I'm more powerful and stronger and smarter than I thought, and that I know and that I can do anything I can put my mind to. So, thank you.
And last but not least, we have Kevin Junyuan Zhang.
First, I want to thank my mom and my family for always being my back and helping me like when I struggled. And next, I want to thank my all teachers from JJSEs for always being nice and supporting me when even though when I was like super quiet in class. And next, I want to thank my friends from outside of school for giving me a raise to be procrastinating. And finally, I want to thank my best advisors, Ms. Brew, and my advisees for being a family for me in these 4 years. Thank you.
Beautiful advisory, please be seated. Next, I would like to bring up Miss DiGiulio.
Welcome family members, friends, students, staff, and graduates of 2013. I'm here to present my advisees to you, to congratulate them for their achievements and their crossing of this important milestone in their lives. But before I give them their diplomas, I would like to address each one of them personally. So excuse me. First of all, it has been my honor and privilege to work with each and every one of you, and I would like to express my personal remembrance to each one of you. Many. I will always remember how willing you were to support your classmates at any time, how you were consistently on top of your assignments and homework, sharing due dates and timelines with your peers, and finally, how many girlfriends you had. One.
Probably's gonna be outside.
I will always remember how you shared your thoughtful and reflective insights with me and your classmates. Your growth from a somewhat disengaged tardy student in your junior year to a highly engaged, focused, and curious student in your senior year. In the positive demeanor that you brought to our advisory every day. Aaron, I will dates in moving forward with dignity, maturity, and integrity. Alexis. I will always remember how involved you were with school, ready to take on responsibilities and leadership on a moment's notice. How you panicked at times, announcing that you were doomed to fail, but only needing a reminder to put you back on top. And finally, your self-assured poise, fashionable dress, and smooth dance moves. Stella. I will always remember how hard you worked, never being satisfied until you earned an A+ on every assignment that you did. How through your struggles as an English language learner, you insisted on studying Chinese and Spanish as well. And how you have challenged yourself to be the best you can be. Encore. I will always remember how far you have come since the first day you arrived at our school with little English, a bit of culture shock, and extremely shy. You have embraced our community, challenged yourself to overcome literacy barriers with great humility, and charmed everyone with your magical smile. I have enjoyed working with every one of you, and it's my extreme pleasure to present your diplomas.
I guess one of the first people I really want to thank is Mrs. Soro, because I remember walking into this class and seeing all these huge people, one of them being Mitchell. I thought he was like a 12th grader. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I think, what's all this patriarchy talk? I don't know what you guys are talking about. But Soro like really pushed me to like write more, and it never really helped me until I hit SI and I went to Mr. Mitchell's room, and I was writing like the bare minimum. And Mr. Mitchell's like, I don't want this. Dude, you're lucky you're getting a STEM today, but I want more from you. And that really stuck with me throughout like my whole SI career, and that's why I'm here today. I'm going to UC Santa Cruz. And someone else I want to appreciate is Mr. Julia, because I've never seen her in a bad mood. I think I've seen her yell like once, but there was some like small stuff, but she was really nice and sweet to me. And Miss Lancaster for being super crazy and taking me on all those backpacking trips. And I really appreciated that, and I always felt like you were an advisor to me. So. And all my friends, but that'll take too long. And my parents for always supporting me and always loving whatever I do and what I want to do in life. So thank you all.
Juan, aka Nito, Estrada.
It's been 12 long, short, emotional years. Seems like yesterday I was sitting down there with the audience looking at last year's graduation, just wondering how does it feel to be up here giving this speech. And there's only one way to describe it. It feels good. Good knowing I broke that stereotype cycle of a young person of color not graduating or not going to college. And that made me 10 times more hungry to reach my long-term goals. Of course, I wouldn't have done it with these unique group of teachers and staff without them teaching me the rich values, respect, integrity, courage, humility. I wouldn't be up here giving this speech. I just want to give 4 quick shout outs. One to Mr. Kosmai. He helped me kind of upgrade my closet to look more professional, just saying. Mr. Mitra for his, the way he teach. He had a big influence on me, especially for my future career, teaching me more about the food industry and stuff like that. And I'm really trying to change that in the future, hopefully. Another person is Miss Clemens. She's always been there since day one in my school life and my personal life, and just appreciated that she didn't charge me for gas money. And I just want to have 5 quick seconds of silence for Mr. Renner, who was my sophomore advisor. He passed away, so he's not here with us. So just to have 5 quick seconds of silence. And I just want to end for thanking everybody for coming, and for my fellow peers, good luck in your life, your goals in life, and just remember to work hard, but at the same time, have fun. Thank you.
Ariana Fisher-Kyle.
I love you too. Okay, first I want to thank Jesus Christ for blessing me to get this far. I want to thank my parents for being here throughout the years that I've been going through hardship. I want to thank all my family who came today, especially my brother, because me and him have a lot of arguments, but I love him. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think that I would have tried to do as best as I could, because he actually did better than me, but I tried my hardest to do better than him. So, I also want to thank my friends. I want to especially thank Alexis Hill, because she was a sister to me this whole time I've been here. Even through the first day, she was like my sister. She's like my little big sister. Like, she's younger than me, but she's like my older sister. She's like, Ariana, stop. And I was like, okay. But I want to thank her. I want to thank just everybody who's been there for me, everybody in this class, even the people who I've argued with and people who have had hardships with me. I mean, I know it's been hard, but we've all made it, and I'm just glad that we made it. I want to thank Mr. Mitra especially, because he's been through a lot with me. I've been procrastinating, and I used to not do my work, and he's given me a lot of chances. And I also want to thank Mr. Julio, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been right here. I would have been, sorry.
Go ahead, girl.
I would have been going out of school. I would have quit already. I would have quit, because I've been saying a lot of times, like, I want to quit. I don't want to be here anymore. And they actually haven't given up on me. And I just want to thank all my teachers and everybody. Thank you.
Alexis Hill.
I love y'all. Love y'all. Love all of y'all. Okay. First, I would like to thank all my family. Y'all gotta be quiet so I can hear my speech. I would like to thank all my family from my
prom committee, to my graduation committee, to my taxi cab service, and all of that. Then I would like to thank my auntie Londi for keeping the family grounded and my nana. And I would like to thank my mom and my stepdad and my little brother and my big brother and my sisters. But most of all, I want to thank Mr. Sorrell for getting me through high school because I done had a lot of problems. And he made sure that I came to his class at least on one positive note, and he helped me. And I want to thank my best friends from Deshante, Yuri, and Joy, and my little cousins. Love you guys. Also, I want to dedicate this to Leonard Bradley. R.I.P.
Next, I'd like to present Stella Schwady-Moore.
First of all, I want to thank my family members for always supporting me, and I also want to thank my GI advisor, Miss Kenny, who helped me a lot when I first came here. Without her support, I must be totally lost in a new school. And also, I want to appreciate Mr. Sorrow and Miss Trailer for being a really nice and supportive teachers. Next, I want to thank all my SI teachers, especially Mr. Julio, Ms. Nor, Mr. Mitra, and Mane from Boys and Girls Club. Without their help, I won't be standing on the stage and graduating right now. And I also want to thank all the peers for their hard work and support. Thank you.
Finally, I'd like to present Ankar Suman.
First of all, I want to thank my family, my grandfather, my grandmother, mom, dad, and my uncle and aunties. Thank you very much. And I also want to thank my all teachers, especially Mrs. Gilio and Mr. Mita for supporting me. And I also want to thank my all friends sitting behind me. And one of my friends sitting in front of me, Sunny and posted too. Thank you very much. Thank you.
See? Now I'd like to present Miss Jones-Bay.
Have Ms. Norris advisory stand, please. So y'all gotta work with me because this is gonna be hard and I'm gonna try not to cry even though I feel it right now. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my advisory. We started out with 9, we're here with 7, so it's a bittersweet day, but it's a beautiful day. One reason is when you come into my room, it looks a little chaotic. I'll have kids, one at a computer, two at a computer, Miss Jocelyn running in, Miss Noor! Kabina saying, don't sit on my chair, you see the sign on the chair? Jessica coming in talking about, did you know what they did on the muni buses? We need to activate, we need to come together. All right, I got Jaleesa yelling at DJ, get your ACT ticket in. There was one day where my whole room was littered with ACT tickets to make sure this boy took it to the ACT test. Move standing there helping our juniors out with their ACT, never complaining with that sweetheart. I got Deanna, who started out this year with strength. She said, you know what, I want to be here because I want to make sure the girls who came up like me will see somebody graduate across this stage. this moment, the one thing I want to say, and I don't want to take too long because I know we've gone through, but the thing I'm so proud about my advisory is that we're like an interesting crew, right? We're all the different groups coming together. We're everybody, all the different jokes, everything that happens. But regardless of it, my advisory has stuck together. I've seen them hold tight to each other when one was slipping and falling. I've seen them call a lookout for each other in such a fierce and determined way that just reminds me of the strength that June Jordan of this school provides, but most importantly, what you as a class of 2013 will provide for your college campuses when you're there. So at this moment, I just want to say, when I think of my advisory, when I think of 2013, when I think of my first advisory, I'm going to think of amazing intellect, drive, compassion, dynamic young faces and hearts who have worked so hard to get here and have never forgot to bring another with them. So at this moment, I'm going to go ahead and not cry, but read some names of these amazing young women who I know are going to be fabulous additions on their college campus. Let them know, okay? With Ms. Diana Echevarria.
My family, shout out to my grandparents in the back, my suegra, my sister, my little brother, my boyfriend, Pablo, my friends, everybody, thank you guys. I'm here and I made it. I did, we all did, thank you.
I love you, Diana. Love you, mija.
Jocelyn Galvan.
I would like to start off by thanking my family because without them I definitely wouldn't be here for their support. I'd like to thank the teachers, especially my previous advisor, Ms. Lancaster, because she stuck by me all 4 years and gone through hell and back with me, and she's still with me. And Mr. Mitra, because at my lowest point, he kind of slapped me in the face with some words of wisdom, and he helped me realize a lot. And especially, I'd like to thank Ms. Noor for putting up with me and helping me out with my college stuff. And I never thought I'd be here and actually going to college next. And I would like to thank the class behind me because I have met many interesting people, and I'm glad I got to know all of them. And I can say we made it, and we're here, class of 2013.
Jessica Jean Ensign.
If I haven't spoken enough already, I'd like to say some thank yous. One off to my mom for raising me and always being there. Woo! Okay. And two to Coleman Advocates for being my second family and my strongest support system throughout the years. And of course to my two advisors throughout JJSC, my first one being Mr. Amsler. You are an amazing teacher, thank you. And to Ms. Noor, I love you so much. Thank you for always uplifting me when I felt down. And I want to thank all my friends in the class of 2013 for all the memories. But two people in particular, Jaleesa Moss and Ashley Tolliver, for being two of the realest people I know ever. Yeah. June Jordan, continue to build leaders and individual thinkers. I love you all.
Kavina Lachelle McCoy.
Celebrate us graduates today. And okay, I'm going to talk about my experience at Jordan. So I've been here all 4 years and I've struggled a lot, and especially this past year, the struggle has been like really real. Like I didn't even know if I was going to be up here on this stage a few days ago. That's how real the struggle was. But I made it, which is great. And so I want to thank some people. I want to thank my friends for being beautiful and amazing people, and Lenine for being especially beautiful and amazing. And yeah, they supported me and encouraged me a lot, like especially this year, because like I wanted to give up like so many times. I was just like, I'm done. I've been done a lot. But they've helped me a lot to get here, so I want to appreciate them. And to my teachers, like all of them ever, but like especially to my advisor, all my advisors over the years, Mr. Royal, Ms. Edith, who are not here, and Ms. Noor, because I've given her a lot of attitude this year. It's been hard. But she's always supported me, and she's always like came back and like she brushed off my attitude. She's like, whatever, you know, like I don't care. And she's just really amazing, and I appreciate her. And my teachers who taught me gave me all the chances, because like I'm kind of a slacker sometimes. So I want to thank them. And to my family, my sisters, and to my mom and my dad, because they've always done everything in their power to make sure that I've had endless opportunities and I've had everything that I ever needed. And my mom for saying that she was done with me like so many times, but never actually being done with me. I love you guys. You're beautiful.
Jaleesa Angela Moss.
I love you all too. Okay. So I've grown, well, hi again, because I was already up there. Okay. I have grown as a person as well as a student over my 4 years at JJSC. My success isn't a victory on my own. I know I wouldn't have been able to do it without the staff and my peers. First and foremost, I would like to thank God, whom I call on every day for strength, and my family, who are always there to support me. Next, I would like to thank my first advisor and favorite teacher, Miss Proctor, who is not here, for opening up her room and her heart for me when I most needed it. I also would like to thank my two SI advisors, Ms. Edith and Ms. Noor, for all their help, especially when I was stressed out and cranky about being at school. Thanks to these wonderful people, I will be able to move on to Mills College, where I know their kind words and loving spirits will follow me and accompany me in time of struggle. Lastly, I would like to thank my friends and the class of 2013 for giving me memories of laughter, craziness, and love. I wish you the best in your journeys, and you'll always be in my heart. Thank you.
Annabelle Ramirez.
First of all, I would like to thank all my teachers and family, and especially Mr. Mitra, because he didn't give up on me, and that could make it this day. And also Miss Nor, because she always helped me this year. And especially my mom. Gracias, Madre, por estar siempre conmigo. por ser la mejor madre y por siempre. La quiero mucho y también quiero agradecer a mi padrastro que no está acá, aunque no es mi padre, pero le quiero agradecer que él siempre está y confía en mí. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Popo Eni Sabea.
Testing, 1, 2. First of all, I would like to thank God for letting me be here right now. If it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be walking across the stage. I'd like to thank my parents and my siblings, my cousins, my nieces and my nephews, my aunties and my uncles, and everybody for coming out and supporting me and giving me advice. I'd like to thank Mr. Olson, Miss Kenny, Miss Nora, Miss Edith, my 4 advisors, for helping me with everything, even though I gave you guys hard times. It be like that sometimes, though. I'd like to thank Mr. Mitra. Where he at? Where is he? Mr. Mitra, oh my gosh. His lectures, though. His lectures. I'd like to thank Mr. Alexander and Ms. Wong for a wonderful school. Thank you.
Yeah! No one?
Let's give our graduates another round of applause. 2013. All right, so before I forget, I want to thank everyone who put effort in planning this graduation. All the senior advisors, Mr. Mitra, our keynote speaker, Ms. Jones Bay, College Access Director, Ms. Lancaster, Tech and Sound, I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, Miss Amanda for pictures, and all the staff and students that helped out, thank you. And all the family, friends, loved ones who supported our graduates, thank you for being with us here today. You are the reason why they are standing up here on the stage today. Thank you very much. So, before you move your tassels, I want to tell you about why you move your tassels. It's a symbol of your transition from student to graduate. It's a symbol of your transition from candidate who holds a diploma. As some of you learned in Mr. Mitra's mythology class, the hero's journey frequently takes you on a journey far from home, right? Hero's journey? Raise your hand if you remember hero's journey. Thank you. On that journey, there may be distractions, which I'm pretty sure you have already realized, but you will have other distractions in the years to come. Then the hero usually finds him or herself and understands their life's work. Sometimes the hero returns home to share knowledge and wisdom with the community. We at June Jordan, we will always be your home. We love you, we believe in you, and we wish you the best. You have shared your dreams with us. Now wake up and go fulfill them. Not only for yourself, but for us, for your communities, and for your families who are here today. And for the ones who are younger, who will follow in your lead next year and the years to come. So seniors, so before they move their tassels, I would just like to request that the families allow the procession to move into the foyer before you greet your graduate. Are you guys ready? Okay, so seniors, please stand. Now is the time for me to officially endow you as graduates of June Jordan School for Equity's class of 2013. Please move your tassels from the right to the left.
कोई नहीं मम्मी ने मना ओके कोई गल नहीं बाहर चल रहा है ठीक है